Ever wonder what sets the winners apart from the losers? And what does it really mean to be a winner? My name is Federico, and I'm a young, successful entrepreneur passionate about sports, business, mindset, and real estate. If you are just like me and you want to crack the code to victory, then Winning Ways podcast is made for you. Yo, welcome back to Winning Ways with Fred. My name is Federico, and I am your host, guys. Today I have a stud of a guest. You guys are going to enjoy heavy note-taking day. But first and foremost, guys, please share the show. If you find it valuable, which you will today, please share it. That's how we're going to grow. Even when we become a top 3 show worldwide, it'll all be through word of mouth. So without further ado, Orion, how are you, brother?
What's going on, my friend? Thank you for having me, brother. I appreciate everything, dude. Let's see what you guys do. It looks like an awesome thing you all do down in Florida.
I apprite that, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming on the show. And a lot to talk about, a lot to touch on. And let's start off with how you started your career. There's a lot to talk about real estate, but I want to start off with touching in how you were the sales director for Cardone.
How
did that start off?
So when I got out of the military, I was looking for a job, and I got a sales job at an insurance company. And I was completely horrible at sales. Didn't know sales was a skill set. Didn't know sales was a thing, right? So I started reaching out to personal development, came across Cardone, and in his books, it would always tell him to call the office. So I called the office one day and talked to one of the guys, got on his program, and then I just started training on his program. And then about a year later, he was having a TV show on his TV network called Whatever It Takes. It was season 2, and I was a participant on that TV show, and I came in 3rd place. But the very next day, I came back to showed up, and I got in front of him again, and then he gave me an opportunity to go work for him. So I moved down to Miami.
That is awesome. I mean, you took it off his book because he does I think it's the book Sell or Be Sold, or You Got to Be Obsessed or Be Average. He touches on that. How when you want something, you go and you show up to the office and
go get it for sure.
Take no for an answer. On the side note, though, thank you for your service. I didn't know you were in the military. And now, so tell me about that experience with Cardone, man, because I'm a big fan of his. I've done all his Cardone University. I've read all his books, and I've learned a bunch from him virtually. How was it in person with him and being in his team?
Yeah, absolutely. So it was in his offices in Miami. I know he's got a bigger office now, but the office he was at was on the 6th floor of a bank. And there's only like 6 people on the sales team at the time. So the hiring class that I was a part of was about 12 people. So I came in as a junior, having a team leader. So I'd be on the phones all day, literally just a phone machine, just hand dialing car dealerships. I was calling car dealerships to sell as a Cardone on-demand car sales training for the dealership. So I'd be on the phones all day, calling like 200 dials, just getting in front of the contacts to push the leads up to my senior, how they had it set up over there. But yeah, Graham was in the office every day, have a morning meeting, 9:30 every morning. If he was in the office, probably there like 3-4 times. But definitely like just spilled nuggets on us. He'd come into the sales room, hype everybody up, give us a lot of knowledge in regards just to sales, closing, and overall like just personal development life. For sure. Definitely a good experience, my friend. Definitely a good experience working with GC, sure. Uncle G. Yeah, for sure.
Uncle G and his events and all that. And for then sure. you did
love
that.
Uncle G. Yeah.
What's up?
I said, I love Uncle G.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, that he's an example. I've been following him. He was probably one of the first influencers I started following online. Okay. And then, I mean, you go down the rabbit hole, Ed Milet, Tony Robbins, Andy Frisella and all that. Right. So you did that 2015. And now you have your real estate investment company out in Houston. You invest in Texas and Florida. So how was that transition? Where was that fork in the road when you decided, hey, this was a great experience, but I want to start my own thing?
It was about 2 years in working for them. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't hit a quota 1 month. And they gave me an ultimatum, basically, hit this quota the next month. And I didn't hit it, right? Okay. So I knew I wasn't going to hit it. So I actually quit before, I guess they could fire me in a sense. But at the end of the night, it was about production. It's about hitting your numbers. And I know you got the camaraderie, the teamwork there, but their effort and the intention when you're a part of that team is production, which is amazing. And it stepped my mindset up for sure. But when I left there, it was now I was on an entrepreneurship journey by myself. So I tried to start all these different businesses. They just didn't pan out. And then I just came across real estate one day. It was wholesaling real estate, no cash, no credit, make $10,000 right now. YouTube University helped me out a lot. And then just a lot of action, desire, and hustle, my friend. And then it took about 2 years to get like things going. And then after about 2 years, started forming a team. And then we'll do around 2 million this year. We did $1 million last year, but we're on pace to make over 2 million in assignment fees, wholesaling real estate this year.
That's great, man. That's a lot of progress. And something I want to touch on that you're saying how you started different types of businesses. You left Grant Cardone and you wanted to start the entrepreneurial game, and you started different businesses till you learned about real estate.
Right.
So walk us through that, because that's a big part about winning, right? We met failure, but you perceived, you pushed through, and you got to real estate. And now you're doing well. So tell us about those businesses and what happened to them, and what was the next steps after that.
So right when I got out, actually right when I left his office, one of my buddies in Kansas City. So I moved to Kansas City to start I was in the funeral business for a while, selling like plots. I was just working for another company. My buddy got a job. He was manager there. That didn't pan out. Then him and I started our first business, which is a call center. So we had, like 10 callers at a call center in West Virginia that we paid. And then we had some clients getting them appointments. That didn't pan out. But I was always good on the phone. So it was always something to do with that, like sales in regards to that. The next business was credit repair business. I didn't know what I was doing. I got some clients, but that didn't pan out either. And then just going down the line of these things that weren't really aligned with like a passion of mine, like painting fences, like going door to door just to get painting fences. And then I was trying to fund this idea I had in my mind, this technology business. That never panned out. And then, dude, I was really down on the slumps, really like broke completely, my friend, like right at ground zero. And just YouTube, man, it just popped up one day. Wholesale real estate, no cash, no credit. No cash, no credit. And I was in that situation, no cash or any credit. So just kind of learned about that. And I remember making my mind up, like, this is it, all in, 100% hungry dog on the back of the meat truck. I have not eaten in 2 weeks, and this is ready. I'm ready to go. So that first day, I actually got on the first phones. 3 days later, I got my first contract. I was really stoked about that. And then
in 3 days?
In 3 days, got my first contract. It was lady in New Mexico, and I signed it to somebody. It was supposed to be a $40,000 profit. And I was thinking like I was all hot shit. And I was like, got complacent, right? I'm about to make $40,000 3 days in. I'm good at this. I'm the master, whatever. But then it turned out to be title issues, and the deal was upside down. So 3 weeks later, I got the heartbreaking news, right? But that motivated me to keep going. And it took me actually 4 months after that deal, locked up contract, to get my first deal that closed and funded. It was like $6,500, and I was stoked, my friend. I was stoked. And then ever since then, 65, we do 50, like done 6-figure deals, like all over the place now. Yeah, for sure. It's
funny you say that, because that's how I started. I started wholesaling. I had zero credit, zero anything. I learned it from a brokerage, but that's why I asked you in shock. 3 days in, you got your first deal. It took me 3 months, 3.5 months really, to get my first deal.
To get the first contract?
Yeah, to get it fully closed. Like, there was a lot of times where here and there, I put it under contract and I thought I had an end buyer, and it turned out to be another wholesaler, which happens a bunch. I know you know that. But yeah, it took me 3.5 months. But that's man, that's great, because you're saying you guys are doing 2 million this year, and you guys did $1 million last year.
We 15. We'll probably do 18 deals this month. Average is around like 20,000. Last year we did 72 deals at average about 19.5. But now we kind of switched our business model up, where we sell to institutions now and hedge funds, so they can pay a little more. Plus, we can lock up more contracts because we can give the seller a little bit more money compared to those mom and pop investors. So our spreads are a little higher. That's what our name is, ATS, against the spread. We make the money on the spread. So we like the whole gross in our deals. We like the whole gross in our deals. And that's what I teach my sales guys. We got an in-house crew, and then we got a virtual sales team as well.
Nice, man. So how long ago did you start this real estate investment company?
4 years, but it was just a solopreneur, just me grinding for like 2 years. And my brother came on board, helped me out with dispositions. And then I saved some money, moved into an office. And then I started learning how to be a business owner. Leader, like that business owner. Exactly. Right. Because turning from a salesperson and closer, like getting contracts on yourself, going through transactions, dispositions, the whole bit. And then actually turning that into a business, it's like a different mindset. It's a different level. And it's like you see things in a different perspective. So now in the very beginning of when I started hiring people, it was like, starting here from being a business standpoint, like I knew how to close deals, but how can I replicate or duplicate what I know to other people so they can start producing those results as well? And then you got different departments that you got to set up too. So it took a learning curve for sure. But where I'm at right now is definitely more learning to do. But yeah, it's progressing, and it's keep going. I like to say that we're on a precipice and we're ready to take off, my friend.
Yeah. No, and I mean, you always have to be learning, especially in business. And right there, you went from being an operator, a business operator, to a business owner. And that's a big jump, right? Because at first you start by yourself because you don't have the capital, you don't have the experience. But then as you grow now you have a team. So let's touch on that, man. What were some of the key differences there that you noticed? And did you have some sort of mentorship? Did you read, what books did you read? Because going from a business operating to leading a group of guys or girls or both, it's a completely different game. So tell us about that.
I think the number one thing that you're looking into a person when you're hiring them would be their desire to prove something. Because a lot of people can get complacent, especially in sales, where it's like you're an entrepreneur in your own way, where yes, you're a part of that company, but it's your business too, because you're prospecting every day, you're following up, you're closing, and nothing in real estate gets paid out unless it's closed and funded. So this is your business in a sense. And that's why I teach them get in a business mindset that this is your business too. But I think the number one quality a person can have is something to prove something. It's like they have that desire, because I always tell people, you can't teach. I can teach them everything that I know about sales, closing, prospecting, negotiation, but I can't teach the desire to want to know more about it, to get that information and apply that knowledge to get results. Like I can't teach that white burning desire. So if you're ever in a hiring process, I recommend like using DISC to get the personality assessment. However, I also recommend just getting your intuition involved to see if this is somebody that has something to prove, because that's that desire where they will go out and go get it. It's not a 9 to 5 job. It's a 24-hour gig, right? Yeah. You want those people on your team. But and then virtual people. So we're moving more to the virtual side. I got an in-house crew like 7, but we have an overseas team about 10. So we're growing that, and we do a lot of training with them every day to get them proficient, make them feel part of the team, even though they're overseas. I think that's one thing too. If you're hiring virtual people, make them feel a part of your team. Make them feel part of your team. So have those trainings with them, just like you have in-house crew trainings. Have those meetings. Get on Skype with them, Zoom, whatever you use, and like be in good communication with them, because they'll feel part of the team and they'll be really motivated to work harder. Plus the cost of labor there, it's like more incentivized for a business owner, because like the profit's going to be more. But you got to understand too that they're over there, and what you're paying them and considerably is a lot more than what the rest of the people are making down there. So like the mindset of like you said, business. So it's like people over profit though. People over profit for sure.
Yeah, and that's
some of your questions. I know I kind of went off, my friend.
No, you're good. You're good.
Virtual team and an in-house team. That's where we're going. Qualities in people, have something to prove. Have something to prove, my friend. And making people feel part of the team, and praise people for the admiration. Good job.
Yeah, sure. Totally. I mean, and at the end of the day, there's no right or wrong answer there. There's steps, there's processes that I think any business and business owner has to implement to grow their business effectively. And it sounds like you're doing that. Now, let's talk about the future, man. What's the next 5 years look like for you? What's the targets that you guys are trying to reach?
Yeah, absolutely. So the targets for sure is like 500,000 a month, 6 million a year for the company. And then for Orion itself is the personal brand, like the mentees. I got a couple of those, but it's just like free mentorships, starting to help get more influence, because I really feel like the knowledge that I received from the people in the past that given to me, it's just a new generation of people, and there's new people influence more people. And I think I'm one of those next influence people. So with the knowledge I gave, especially with like the sales and closing, because that's just stuff that you can use in your personal life as well. So I see my stuff on stage for sure. And then I see ATS still growing virtually 100% virtual, 500,000 a month, 6 million a year.
Uncle G 2.0.
Let's go.
You gotta love it. And I was going through your Instagram, man. It was really entertaining and informational. I thought it was great.
Cool.
To be really honest. It's like you kind of have this like swagger going, not like the general, like, hey guys, you got to do this, that. You're like, hey, my friend, if you want to do this, that. And I think it's unique, one, and it's going to attract a different type of business owner or business-like person. But you want those people you're talking about right now, how you want people that are hungry, that have grit. And I'm not saying that most people that are hungry and grit talk like that, but let's be real. I mean, we talk fast. We're to the point, right? So, I definitely, like, in 5 years, we're going to see Orion in stage with Ed Milet, Grant Cardone, Gary Vee, and all those people. I definitely see that.
I appreciate that. I love that, my friend.
Yeah, man. No, for sure. Now let's touch on this, man, because one thing that I really like to touch about in this podcast itself is winning ways, right? So there's winning habits and winning situations that got you to the point you're in, right? And I'm sure you learned a bunch from Grant Cardone, how we were touching on earlier, right? So what are some of the habits, man, that have gotten you to this point?
Sure. Getting up before the sun is up. Like, you got more time. It's more quiet. You can be in your thoughts. You can do whatever you need to do. I'm not saying you should meditate or read or do whatever you got to do, but getting up before the sun up is going to give you some more time to operate in that day more successful and prepared. For sure, personal development, 100%. Always, if you're not growing, you're dying, my friend. So big thing with me is books. Love reading books. I first hated reading books. Didn't really know what I was reading at the end of the pages sometimes, but if you consistently do the same repetition over and over again, you'll get good at it. And you'll start retaining it, and not just reading books. I would really say like pick like a solid 3 books, or even just one book to start off and actually study that book. I would recommend like The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph D. Murphy, Bob Proctor, right? Tony Robbins, if so. But like the Richest Man in Babylon, Og Mandino, The Greatest Salesman Alive, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, things like this, like these personal development books that are really going to help you to understand that it is in your mind. And what you can see in your mind, like you can create it here in the physical that we live in. So like really getting the power of the mind behind your concept of how you operate. Because like you can create this stuff up here, my friends. It's your mindset, your attitude. Grant actually told us this, he taught us AQ, attitude, approach, action. If you got AQ right, you got it all right. Attitude is your attitude, positive mental attitude, can-do attitude, optimistic, you know you can do it, right? A can-do attitude, a good positive mental attitude. Approach. What are your approaches for the day? How are you approaching these phone calls? Are you prepared for this phone call? Are you prepared for this follow-up? Are you setting your day up? Do you have tasks that you're going to do within this day? What is your approach for this day, for the thing that you're doing? And then the last thing is action. There's 4 types of action. There's no action, there's retreat, there's average action, and there's massive action. No action, simply you're not going to get anything done. Retreat, sometimes when we're on a phone call, we're feeling some anxiety, or you don't know what we're saying, so you feel unconfident, so you retreat, you get off the phone call, or you're about to do this door knock or whatever you want to do, and you retreat because of the anxiety, the feelings in your feelings, so you retreat, so you're not going to get anything. Average action is what he taught us was the worst action, 9 to 5 mindset, just getting by, average. And then massive action, so 10x, what he would say, massive action. So AQ, attitude, approach, and action. My friend, get AQ right, you got it all right, he would say. But yeah, to personal development and my friend, waking up before the sun is up, my friend.
Yeah. So 2 questions. One, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 34.
You're 34, man. That's great. And, I love bringing guests like yourself in my pod, man, because my audience is typically males, 18 through 30-year-olds. So seeing a person like yourself, man, someone that was in the military, when did you leave the military? At what age?
I joined in 2008. I got out in 2012.
12. Okay. How old were you at the time?
25 or 26.
So you left at 25, 26 with some life experience because you're in the military, but starting pretty much fresh from the.
Yeah, starting fresh. And I consider myself starting late too, man. There's I got some kid, 18-year-old, just closed a $50,000 deal. He's about to make more money in this month than he has his entire life. That could be an opening, change of paradigm situation with this kid, right? But it's like, I see a lot of these youngsters, like 18 years old, getting into real estate. I'm like, dude, if you just stuck with it, by the age you're 21, dude, you're going to be a mogul, my friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get that, man. So you started off late at 25, 26. You started through Grant Cardone. You had multiple businesses that you tried to get going and failed. And then you finally found real estate 4 years ago. Now you're 34. Closing close to $2 million and projected to multiply that by 3 or more in the next 5 years. That's a winning story, man. And that's motivational for people like that are graduating college or starting off life that are 24, 25 and are, in a sense, lost. They don't know what to do. Right. And they hear about a story like yourself. So it's like, hey, man, this guy, like he's a regular guy and he made it. And these are the ways he did it. So it helps motivate my audience. And that's why I'm doing the podcast, man. So I thank you a lot for sharing that story. One last question before I let you go, man, that I ask all my audiences is, I know you just touched upon it, but what's one book that you would recommend?
All right. I'm going to say this one, but I did recommend Power of the Subconscious Mind. I really recommend that book. But it's one book that kind of actually changed my thinking was the Magic of Believing. The Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol. It was like in 1940 or something like that. But this man basically went through all the philosophies, like all the religious philosophies out there. And then one thing that they came to the conclusion was that it was your beliefs. It was your belief system. So really having a positive belief system about your self-image, having a belief system about what you're doing. And then there's a lot of techniques that you can use in that book that can really help you out in regards to like manifesting. But it comes down to your belief system. It comes down to your belief system per that book. And I believe in that philosophy.
Yeah.
You
So it was
believe
the magic. It was the magic of believing and the power of your subconscious mind.
Yeah, those two books. Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol and The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy.
Okay, cool. You know, it's something that I've been getting into a lot lately. I've been a big Tony Robbins guy, Joe Dispenza, and I'm very into the whole visualization, the quantum field, and all that. And it shocks me that it's not talked about more because studies, athletes, anything you talk about, it's like when you visualize prior to doing it and you believe it and you feel it, there's a higher chances of you succeeding and getting what you want.
For sure. Yeah. A lot of studies too about the free throws, people visualizing, they never shot the free throw, but they're visualizing to shoot the free throw compared to the person that didn't do it and the person that was just shooting free throws, but wasn't visualizing it. Like when they did the study, the people that just visualized it, didn't shoot it, shot a better shot than the people that are actually doing it.
Yeah. 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 It's one of those like rad things that people are still trying to figure out, but it clearly works and it's beneficial. I do it. I meditate every morning. And I try to visualize my day, how it's going to go out. Obviously, it doesn't go the exact same way each time, but more often than not, man, it turns out to be how I visualize it. So,
did you ever do the deep breathing, my friend? You said meditation. Did you ever do the deep breathing?
Do you mean like the Wim Hof method?
Wim Hof, I did that for a while, but there's different methods out there. But yeah,
that's the one I've done. What other ones are you talking about?
How did you feel about that?
I loved it because I did it prior to my meditation.
Yeah, for sure.
So it got me in this state where I was very, I guess you could say, calm, focused. And then I went into my meditation and it gave me the best meditation. I always do it prior to my meditation.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah. We do that over here too, my friend.
Yeah. No, I do that. And I started doing the Wim Hof method in the shower, the cold shower. Oh, cool. That one shocked me a lot more because that breathing after 2 minutes, it kind of numbs you and you don't feel the water cold anymore. And that's when I was like, how the hell is this happening?
That's some deep stuff.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, what's before I let you go, what's where can my audience find you? What's your social media?
Yeah, it's my Instagram is it's Orion Grove, and then TikTok, it's Orion Grove. Those are the main two platforms, and then it's Orion Grove on Twitter as well. But Instagram and TikTok, I'm pretty active on that.
Awesome. Guys, as always, this will be on the notes. Get this guy a follow, listen to his stuff. You can learn a thing or two from him clearly, as you could hear from his story. And yeah, looking forward to having you back, man. This is going to be a part 2 for sure. There's a lot to talk about, especially how we ended the pod here with the visualizations. But thank you again for coming on the show, man. And looking forward to it for next time.
Hey, thanks, Federico. Have a good day, my friend.
You too, man. Ever wonder what sets the winners apart from the losers? And what does it really mean to be a winner? My name is Federico, and I'm a young, successful entrepreneur passionate about sports, business, mindset, and real estate. If you are just like me and you want to crack the code to victory, then Winning Ways Podcast is made for you.